Chronicles continue. Mystery topic this week.
What's it going to be?
We're doing... Yep. Here we go, guys. Villain draft.
Oh,
Villain draft. Villain draft. And you know what? The rules of this and actually the sort of like breakdown of the draft itself and the teams that we build is going to be all about threat.
Right.
Who builds the most threatening team here? I think that will tell us about who are the most potent villains in Star Wars, and might, like just tip the scales in terms of like audience discussion and our discussion of like who are the greatest, who are the goats, who are the best villains in Star Wars, and what do we want more of? It's kind of where I'm at, and I love Star Wars villains, and I think we'll do a villain draft before we do a hero draft, and just because they're exciting characters, they're complex characters, and they're just devious.
They're the worst.
They're the worst, So
I love this, Grant. I love it. It sort of goes alongside. Sort of after we stopped recording last week, we decided I had this thing in my back pocket. I've been wanting to reread Plagueis. Actually, and Grant had just read it, and I was like so envious. I just was like, dude. Yeah. And
well, I told you guys it's the best audiobook I've ever listened
so good.
to.
There's just like this drone low end like thing going on. So we're gonna cover Plagueis next week, hopefully, probably.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah,
we might not. We don't rehearse these podcasts in our hotel room and game out where things are going. We do it on the fly.
But it just the only reason I bring it up is to front sell for next week. So get on Plagueis if you want to engage in that conversation. And then also, just that villain POV is like, yes, I've been missing that. Yeah, that's what I want. I want and then there's always like different ramifications. Why they're always like, they think they're, bad people never think they're bad, that sort of thing. Like they always think they got it.
Yeah. There will be lots of quoting. When we do that episode. Like I have lots of quotes.
That was the risk. I almost highlighted the first third of the book because there's just all this great stuff and all this stuff that really relates back to what Mangold could be looking at, and just everything. Just great fertile territory. Can't wait to talk about that next week. But no, this week this is even better. This is going to be great.
Yeah, and definitely. Continuing on the rules,
yes.
I think after looking at threat, who builds the most threatening team, which is audience. There can be an audience vote at the end. Whoever's in the live chat right now, please just send in your votes. Tell us which team, and I guess we'll do 1, 2, 3 when we kind of roll for the draft here, and we'll assign numbers, and whoever goes first is obviously team 1, and whoever goes second is team 2, whoever goes third is team 3, and then. So you can write in those as team names to start. Maybe we'll name the teams at the end in a fun way. But if you think someone's building the right team right away, just go for it. You can even say Adam's team, Ben's team, Grant's team. That's fine too. But cool. So everyone will play along, and then afterwards, maybe we'll do a vote on the old X, formerly known as Twitter, and we'll see what happens. And but for now, and finally, after threat. We'll game out a combat scenario and sort of discuss who would win in just an all-out lightsaber battle, or just a sweet action scene, or a sweet sort of like set piece moment, and that'll be fun. So that'll be more towards the end of the show, and then we'll talk Star Wars news and other fun things at the end. So stick around. All right, so. You can just Google villains and play along if you want to, and sort of think of what your picks might be. But let's just roll for the who's going to go first here. I have a little.
One more question for you, Grant. How many total are we going to be drafting?
We'll do a team of 5.
You're sure? Okay.
Yes. Team of 5.
All right. Well, that changes things.
I was thinking. Team of 2 is just a rule of 2. We could do that, but I
was thinking 3.
Let's 3.
But I can do 5. I can do 5.
We can bend the
rules. I would imagine 3
because
it's like
fast.
Rule of 2 plus
a
general is kind of what I was thinking. Like 1 to have power, 1 to crave it, and 1 to execute it.
Okay.
But don't. Right.
It can be broadly anyone who's sort of been a nefarious,
all right, but don't let me. If you think 5's a better number, we can do 5.
I just thought that when I constructed the draft, but 3 makes a lot of sense too.
This is your baby.
2 makes sense to me, honestly, but
You make the call, Grant.
You
It could be any
deciding
number. Don't.
You're
I
fine.
was just throwing ideas out there. What do you want? You want 5?
Or, I don't even know if
We've now said all the numbers.
Let's do 3.
Okay.
3's good. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
3 it is.
3
Team of
each.
3. I love this. It's higher stakes.
Yes. I'm gonna roll for us right now. Okay. Rolling for Ben first. Ben, you got a 1.
All right. This is going to be harder then.
Adam, you also got a 1. I'm gonna roll again for both of you. 11 for Ben. 15 for Adam.
Nice roll.
Adam goes higher than Ben. I'm gonna roll for myself. 7. So I am last. So Adam, Ben, Adam team 1, Ben team 2.
All right.
And that's tough. First, you get first pick, and I know this is just an on the fly podcast, so you're brave to go first here and just grab a villain. But yeah. Oh, you go do what you got to do. It's just threat. It's just threat. Dig him, Darth Vader. Okay. Yeah, Darth Vader. Okay. Well, are there any characters that might be able to manipulate Vader? I wonder.
Oh yeah.
This whole time, Adam, you were muted. Right up until then.
Oh, really?
Yep.
On the
Sorry,
board.
I'm an idiot.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
did
that
you
was
mute me?
operator
Wait,
error.
okay.
Operator being me.
No worries.
So
No worries.
Adam's on this
No.
podcast.
No worries.
Adam.
I apparently like literally the entire episode I've been muted. I actually haven't said that much. So
Oh
it's
man,
fine.
we've been going for 8 minutes.
You did just pick the first round draft pick.
You missed so much. All the listeners missed so much.
It was gold. It was the most intelligent
I think
things
I
I've
really
ever heard
amazing
said.
thing. The best things I've ever said. Yeah.
Sorry,
it'll never
that was
be
me.
heard.
That was me, everyone.
Okay.
Good news, Adam gets to go first.
All right,
It's
we start
fine.
the draft. Adam first pick.
Yeah, I feel bad, but I gotta take it. I gotta take Vader. I gotta do Vader. Yeah, I mean, I know he turns good at the end, but I mean, just watch any scene he's in prior to that. I mean, watch the hallway scene in Rogue One. Like Vader. Vader is scary. My 3-year-old thinks he's adorable, but everyone else
You're
I
a
think finds him
sociopath, Todd.
terrifying.
Just kidding. It's, I also loved Vader as a child.
We'll see.
Look how I
Me
turned
too.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there
Now
with
I'm
you.
more scared.
Samesies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, come on. I was thinking that too. I was just like, I've this been ruminating a bit, just sitting here since we just learned about it. But I was like, I don't know if I could take the man. Like I knew like. Grant so like poetically like described why Vader was like the guy when Travis asked about it a couple weeks ago, and there was a treatise on Vader, and I was like, that's pretty much it. Like, tough guy to go. Is it my turn? Can I pick now? Is that all right?
It's your turn.
I feel like we could talk about Vader forever, but
we can talk about Vader all day, but when do we not talk about
right.
Vader? So
Right.
we'll
All
move to
right.
the second pick.
Grant did just such a good job that I had to take him.
All right, so I'm gonna get my ass kicked in this competition because I'm going for fucking style. I'm going for style points on this thing.
All right. Sounds good.
What
I
you
like
take?
it.
Oh,
What do you
I'm
got
going for style.
Style, yes.
I'm gonna start with Thrawn because I feel like people are gonna want.
Oh, I don't want to say I was lined up for that, but I was.
Yeah,
pretty
Thrawn
much
was on my
lining
short
up
list
for that.
too.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I'm gonna start with
okay.
Thrawn. Just
Master tactician.
Master tactician, not a bad pick.
Yep. Now I have to ask the question: which Thrawn are you going for? Are you going all of them, even Rebels Thrawn?
Yeah.
Who is hoisted on his own petard constantly, or are you going for Book Thrawn?
That was all part of the master plan, Adam. If you were, not.
Yeah.
You guys, the thing is, you guys are leaving me with the worst choice of all. The choice I didn't want to make this evening, but I will if I have to. It's the nuclear option. I will do it.
Oh, you're definitely gonna do it.
I'm taking Palpatine. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, can
McDermott, don't make me go on another rant and diatribe about just the lines from.
he's so
our
good.
guy.
And I really shouldn't discount him because he basically was the only Sith to in the lineage to actually like
Look
win.
at the resume.
But
Oh
I
my
just
God.
feel like
30
he
years
just
of
is,
reign.
my problem,
Meh.
right? And I also feel like
Okay.
It wasn't.
All
It was
right.
19
Well, I mean,
years, right?
I don't know. You picked an outcast tactician.
Yeah, I know.
yes,
I'm over
it was like
here.
No, you're
18,
right.
yeah.
But like, really,
the other
it was
thing is-
19 years of
I
reign.
don't know.
Like,
Here we go.
He was
yeah.
19, and like every time he
I think,
like
I
anything
think
bad would happen, he'd
Putin's
be like, "No,
like,
it's
ruled
all
for
according."
19 years at this point.
All right.
Right?
There are fallacies. There are fallacies. I get it.
But I will say it's a
Yeah.
good choice. Like,
Yeah.
when's
I had to.
when's the last time a Sith had been in charge of the galaxy? Right.
Right.
Like,
He made the
like,
big
yeah,
comeback.
so-
He was the Luke Skywalker for
Yeah.
the Sith.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's in your guys' best interest to argue against his.
That's
No,
coming.
I know, but
Don't
I
worry.
just don't worry, we'll get there. I'll tell you why you're wrong later.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry about it.
Okay. Great,
All right.
Fantastic. All right, Adam.
All right. So, all right. So I'm trying to think like so I have a strategy here of picking like, and I'll say what the strategy is I have like master apprentice, and then I have like the master manipulator. Like that's kind of my mindset that I'm going
I love
for
that.
and filling out those roles. And I think weirdly like not weirdly, but I think Vader is my master. Like I want him
I
in
love
the
that.
master role. And so I'm trying to think of like apprentice, right? Like I have a feeling like that's the one I want to feel next. And there's a lot of options there. And I'm like, do I want that? Do I want that? I like sorry, I'm so back and forth.
Take a look at the list.
I'm gonna go Dooku.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
Count Dooku. I just like I find. I mean, anytime
Wait, what about synergy? Is that a factor here?
I
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
HR wants
Well,
to have a
so-
word with Vader about that.
That was like when I picked Pong Krell in the Jedi draft, and I was,
yeah.
you guys had convinced me that was an awful pick, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess.
So the reason why I think it's as good is I think Count Dooku is really good at being an apprentice and has no ambitions to actually overthrowing it, is kind of a little bitch about it and can kind of be controlled very easily, but is very effective at certain things. And like, come on, his saber, his like
swag,
his use of
swag
saber,
for days coming off that guy.
It's like, it's hard to separate, you
Great
know.
skill with a lightsaber.
Yeah, I like me a Count Dooku. I like me a Darth Tyrannus. Like it's hard for me not to argue that.
Darth Tyrannus, man, for forever.
I get it, but yeah, I kind of want to see him. I also would really enjoy seeing him being like on Vader's leash.
Yeah. It would grind his gears maybe a little, but I think he'd be okay if he like has his own provincial area.
Wait, so you said Vader's your master character, and then you take one of a character who I only think of as almost like a master, esque character. I think he was on he had a seat on the council.
Sure, but we've only seen him as a Sith apprentice, as
True, he does take apprenticeship. That just
in Tales we saw him as a knight,
shows-
but
that
yeah.
just helps.
Yeah, but in terms of in on the dark side, right? He
Yeah.
was never, the master, and I feel like Vader would own him.
Yeah, he wouldn't have, obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, when it came down to it, if we have peak Vader, he's definitely stronger. We saw just as he was ascending to his power, able to handle Dooku. But that's a nice little team there. I mean, Dooku does a lot of things really well, and he's got a really interesting grab bag of skills, like his dark magic.
Yeah, he's better at probably tactical politics. Like Vader's not going to walk into a boardroom and have a conversation, but you send Dooku, right? Like Dooku can do that. He's got going to be his cape. He'll talk all fancy like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was a great pick. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
going to blow you away.
We got
with
Ben.
this pick.
I mean, Ben,
I was so worried Adam was going to take him, and he didn't take him.
Oh no! Let's see. Now I'm worried that you're going to take one
we
of my
settle
third
one
choices.
thing
Ben.
first.
Sure.
Are we including legends in this draft?
My gut says no.
Yeah. Yes, but you can't take Abeloth.
Let's just do canon. Let's just stick to new. You know what I mean?
I think we should do a
Yeah.
Legends sort of draft later down the line. I'm trying to
Legends
catch up
draft
right
would
now.
be fun.
I watched an hour and a half of cutscenes of
Yeah, you're catching up to KOTOR.
KOTOR, yeah.
Proud of you, Ben. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's essential. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big hitters down there, and I wrote some down. I mean, Darth Bane obviously would have been amazing. Darth Plagueis, Darth Tenebris, Bane would have been amazing, right? But
yeah.
Sure.
Technically canon, but we don't know a lot
actually,
about
Plagueis and Bane are canon, so they're in play.
Correct.
But
they'd be tricky ones to choose because we don't know anything about their story, canon-wise.
Mommin's canon. Like,
Mommin's
there's
canon?
other Sith Lords.
That's a wild pick.
Do you want some art? Then you got Mommin. He'll paint you a nice horrific
imagine
painting.
that love fest between Thrawn and Mommin. Oh, God.
Well,
that'd be
Palpatine's
insufferable.
like wiping your team on the floor. He'll just be painting it on nearby.
I know. Yeah, he's a cockroach.
All right, but I am now nervous. Who are you picking, Ben?
There's so much buildup.
Dryden Voss.
Oh, no! That is
Damn it.
Crazy pick. That's actually a strong pick for just galactic sort of like.
I should have picked him second. I was so close. Oh,
I'm just gonna have a swag machine, guys. Like, yes, you're gonna have all the Siths.
I want to drink with your team. Like,
I know.
I want to hang out with you.
It's just a swag machine.
Dryden does worry me.
He's
a anger management issue or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's so good at manipulating people. I
know. We just read that awesome book about Kira. And he was so good in it. They wrote him so well. It just reignited that character for me in a really exciting way. Sorry, what's the name of the book? Because I feel bad that I'm not saying it.
Crimson Reign.
Crimson Climb.
Crimson Climb. Yeah, a fantastic read. Really good. So, yeah, man, just swag machine. But I feel like he's got the underworld on lock. Thrawn's got the Navy on lock. Like, let's go. Let's go. But it's mostly just because they're so swaggy. And they're just like, they're dudes I'd want to hang out with. That I just love the complexity of the correct character. You're going to love my third choice.
Yeah.
But
because you're not taking. Who am I not taking? Oh,
don't worry about it.
Choice. Okay.
I know this doesn't matter, and this is pointless. I am so. I'm so mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself because I'm like, Dryden Voss. I literally wrote the characters 1, 2, 3. He was going to choose. Dryden Voss was number 2. I should just take him.
Yeah, you didn't care that I had you muted for the first 7 minutes of the podcast, but you were like, when I took Dryden Voss, that's where the line gets drawn.
Yeah, this is as angry as I've ever been on this podcast.
I'm sorry, Adam. That was your Darth Vader.
No, well done. It is. It's
All right. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for buying me time because I had to just
enjoy Count Dooku.
I had to look at that list. I had to look at it a couple times there. Okay. All right. I had to pick someone who's gonna work for this situation. There's a very easy pick here that I could do that is basically the pick that Palpatine makes himself, but I just feel like it's kind of boring, and if I do that, it's not as interesting.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about here because Vader's off the table.
Well, I was thinking Tarkin.
And Dooku's off the table.
Tarkin would be the easy pick here for me.
At 2.
At 2, I think would be a great pick. I'm not going to pick Tarkin, though.
Are you sure? Because you have a lot of respect for that guy.
I'm going to pick Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Jabba's a good one.
I'm going to pick Jabba the Hutt to control Hutt space as well as all the other regions of the galaxy. I'm not going anywhere in this galaxy without Palpatine and Jabba knowing, and I'm gonna have a tracker on your ship, no matter where you go.
Yeah. So. That's it's always pays to have a Hutt in your pocket, man. I mean, even the High Republic, the Hutts were obviously a massive chess piece. And
I gotta say, I don't want to have a drink with my team. Like I'm
no, that is poison. I don't even want to be in a room with your team.
That smell alone, what smells worse, Jabba or Palpatine? I mean, Palpatine smells like burnt flesh.
And bad cologne.
Yeah, like Drakkar Noir, and
cigarettes and coffee and Werther's Original.
Oh boy,
yeah, it's just like carbon storing.
Actually, that's nostalgic. That smells like my grandfather.
Oh man, rotting teeth.
Oh boy,
that's gross. Yeah, and then
got like one dead
yeah,
tooth.
yeah. Well, who is? I was gonna look up like Hut Clan hierarchy is what I was gonna look up, but
It depends
Jabba's
what era you go,
right?
but I think Jabba was running this
is.
show.
Jabba's up there.
pretty high up
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So.
I think so.
I feel like, man, what did I just watch or read? I can't remember anymore. But there was something where it was like it kind of intimated that Jabba was the head of all the Hutts.
Me too.
Wait,
Yeah,
that was
what
it. And then
I
he
read
wanted to
something.
go to Tatooine to tell me I didn't dream this.
I think that's why we need the Underworld show, is so we can see the Game of Thrones between the Hutts.
Yeah.
Is it kind of?
I think it was Plagueis, but Gardula was like Jabba wants to like. Oh, it was Gardula's idea. She wanted Tatooine.
See, I was gonna pick Gardula.
That's
right. Gardula. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting
I
ahead of
think
myself.
Gardula
Yeah.
came.
No.
Yeah.
Can I pick Gardula?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
You can if you want.
Sure. That's
I
canon.
already, it's like a chess piece. I just sat down.
I don't know if you
I
need
got it.
so many
I said it.
like huts.
I said
No
I
offense.
sat down. The
I have a lot more. Yeah, I have a lot more faith in Jabba than I do Gardula. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jabba, yeah. If you've read the comics, you will know why I picked Jabba.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yes.
That's the
very
only
true.
reason I picked him. Honestly. If you read
He's
the
playing
comics.
for. You have two 4D chess guys there. I can see the
Yeah.
two of them getting.
It's
along
very
really well.
true. Or killing
Yeah.
each other.
I mean,
because
ultimately
you
killing
decide
each other
who's
for
in
sure.
charge.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's that's a tough one.
Well, I picked Dooku and Anakin, so I was just like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna pick,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, you picked
No, that's true.
Vader, which Anakin's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Anakin.
Yeah.
It's Darth Vader.
Anakin was always a hero.
Yes.
All right, pick 3,
Okay.
Adam. Let's go.
So boy, I am reeling
Okay.
still. I was like, so I was thinking like, do I pick Tarkin? But like, I cannot imagine Vader and Tarkin getting anything done.
Yeah.
Like they would just.
If you're
they
not
would
on
hate each
YouTube
other.
right
It'd be
now, the
worse than, like,
lines on
Snoke and
Adam's
Hux.
face are glowing red right now. Too soon?
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, no. Then I thought about like Krennic. I love me a
He was
Krennic,
on my list.
but like I don't know. He's on my list, but I'm like I don't know what he's gonna do with that group. So I'm gonna like completely throw my plan out the window, which is just like you need one strategist, you need all these things. I'm going full power, and I'm gonna collect me
All
a
right.
set. I'm going to collect me a set of Palpatine's,
Oh, I love the set.
and I'm gonna take me.
I love the set.
I'm gonna take me a Darth Maul.
I love a set.
I have completed the
He
set.
did.
I have completed the set. I now get the bonus set.
Oh, that's a
altogether.
good set, man. I love that team.
They're powerful. They're evil. They will self-destruct. But boy, if you throw that bomb at something, it's gonna destroy whatever's coming.
That is elite. That is an elite.
Yeah.
Pure
Pure
power.
Like if you played the Battlefront, so if you played the Battlefront video games, I think Adam's team wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. If you need any strategy,
Lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out.
maybe you got.
Not as much, right? Because really, Dooku's the smartest of all of them, and he's really just an order taker.
He's pretty petty, but it's a tank.
It's a tank.
team
You
of
just
tanks,
like hit
right?
the
Like,
strength
yeah, it's a tank
meter.
team.
Is like out of
Exactly.
the like
Strength meters.
Yep.
You went all strength.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
maxed.
went all intelligence, and then Ben went style. Cool.
I went
Ben
swag.
cool.
Yeah. The swag meter
Swag.
is just redlining.
The heat zone.
So finish it off. Who's gonna? I want to.
You guys are gonna hate this pick.
don't
Not
know.
because it's good, because it's bad. But I love her. I'm bringing sexy to my team, and it's Asajj Ventress.
Oh my god! You guys are leaving a lot of
I-
combatants on the table for me. But again, Sidious can hold his
Listen,
own.
we could play the everyone picks a full Sith team all day. I didn't want to do that. I'm just picking my favorite.
I didn't
villains.
want to do it either,
Yeah.
Ben. But someone forced my hand.
All right.
There's other picks out there, but I just feel like
No.
Thrawn, Dryden,
I like
and
that.
it's like Thrawn gets his one Jedi in there. She's ambivalent. I know she gets her butt kicked by all the like OP players, but still, she's just got style. And
She does. You need an attack. You need someone to be able to send out on missions, right? That's not, Thrawn, Dryden, Voss aren't going out and getting their
right,
hands
exactly.
dirty.
Someone's got to be holding
Yeah.
a lightsaber. Hopefully, our team is
Yeah.
smart enough to hide from your team because we'll just get obliterated if we're ever found. But
I was say, good luck. Yeah, please send her after my team.
Yeah,
Let's see how that
this is
goes.
yeah, the
defense only.
sheer just like lightsaber prowess of Adam's team is just frightening.
off the charts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Do you
goes
want to
to
hear?
show
Do you want to hear the sound effects
lightsaber
of the fight
prowess.
against your team? Of this fighting? Zhung, thump, 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 thump. That's
Yeah.
her head.
And that could have been
rolling.
any of the people on your team. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the whole team. I'm going brains is really what I'm going for here.
No, you are. I like it, which is usually my strategy. I went opposite Adam tonight. All power. All right, Grant.
I've
Let's
got to
finish
pick.
up.
I've got to pick a front man. I've got to pick someone who's going to go into the and fights
Into
for
the
me.
fray.
Yeah.
You have two guys that are like really they sit on big chairs and don't get off them.
It's similar
you
to
took
Ben.
the lovely Asajj Ventress from me.
Did you really want that one?
And no, I was just thinking it's a cool lightsaber, combatant who you don't see that often, but is fun to watch. And
It'd be cool.
I just need someone to fight at this point because my team controls the galaxy.
Yeah, you need a fighter.
And my intelligence meter is off the charts.
Yeah.
I just need a combatant. This is tough. There's a couple choices here left on the table, but I think I'm going to make one that can generate discussion after the draft rather than.
Yeah, it's Cad Bane. We got it.
No,
it's Cad Bane.
No, it's Kylo Ren.
Oh,
It's Kylo Ren. He's going to lead all the lightsaber fights against people for me.
I like full power evil Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
that's
full
a good
power.
pick. Yeah,
evil Kylo Ren.
okay.
Stopping bolts.
Yeah.
Stopping the Force.
Wow, that's a pretty
pulling
good
lightsaber
team.
Literally-
afar, cutting people in half.
it is a good team.
He could use some improvement with lightsaber combat. I don't know if he's knows all the best moves, but it was either
was
him or
defeated by a
the
girl
Grand
with no
Inquisitor,
training.
or it was. I don't have. There's not many people left on the list, really.
Oh, there's
like-
tons, bro.
No, there's tons. I was thinking. I was playing
Me
around
too.
Jango Fett. I was thinking maybe a Jango Fett could throw in there or Boba. Right.
Look at
as
Adam's
your
team, though.
heavy.
I have to throw something at that team that has a
There's
lightsaber.
no-
I can't throw.
Django is tough. You can't throw Django at that because he just got decapitated by one Jedi.
Adam's
No
team's
one's-
coming
no
at
one's
you like a
effing with
blender. What are you gonna
Well,
do?
see, that's the thing is like your team and my team are set afar strategists.
Strategists.
We're
You're
setting
gonna out-
minors up for
machinations.
that.
Yeah, they don't
Adam's
get their
team's
hands dirty, but Adam's team is on the front line. Like they are generals leading from the front.
If I could actually get you all in a room together,
It's over.
It's
but
over, right? But
you'll have to get through the entire, Imperial Navy, and
that's your. Could I?
and
Yeah,
the criminal
I mean,
Kylo
underworld.
ever taken an L in terms of like
Sure.
dying? Because the Grand Inquisitor has, and like if I picked him, it would not have gone well. You guys have probably been like, he does die.
No,
Does
I mean he could fly away with his lightsaber. He easily escape doing a helicopter lightsaber move. It's fine and doesn't bother me whenever I see it.
I think Kylo
other
Ren's the
thing-
choice here.
I like Kylo Ren.
No, I think that's a good choice. I forgot Kylo Ren existed in terms of I had Googled Star Wars villains, not included on the list, which is a big oversight.
Yeah,
villains
I
of
will
the
say.
last minute or 3 minutes.
I'm like, and it's also like this list has like Snoke and Hux, so they're not and Dryden Voss, they're not ignoring and Krennic, they're not ignoring like current era Star Wars, but apparently Kylo Ren is not. I mean, Kylo Ren is a bad guy. It's similar with Vader. Kylo is bad.
Well, he's
Ben
labeled a villain.
Solo
Villains
is good.
Villains don't have to. I mean, this is just a broad villain category. If a movie's marketed with one character with a red lightsaber, it's oftentimes the villain of the film. And
he's clearly the
I
villain.
can hear the argument that he's always been pulled to the light. He's a good character as well.
But he's pulled, but he's not
But he's
there.
in optics, he's a villain.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, and
He is,
and with those
100%.
two, like with Jabba and Palpatine as like the only voices in his ears, he's straight dark side. He's not coming back.
Oh yeah, this is a great Kylo.
yeah,
you're getting
Peak
the actual
Kylo,
Jedi
yeah.
killer early concept.
You're getting
yeah,
yellow-eyed, gray-skinned Kylo is pretty much what you're gonna get.
I mean, I think not to like talk myself out of the wind, but you're getting like Vader level ability, like bad guy, right? Like you're getting what Palpatine wanted out of Vader, right? Because you have him fully on the dark side without like all the cybernetic parts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Essentially.
Yeah.
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 But again, I would say the lightsaber skill of your team, Adam, is vastly superior.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I think Ben really went like the master strategist
Swag
role, right? You got Thrawn and Voss, who are really smart at strategy, And like Asajj Ventress, maybe not the strongest in terms of lightsaber combat, but probably they're able to set her up in areas that will make her more likely to succeed. More of an assassin role than a.
I mean, I just feel like
role.
if you know, if Thrawn has a navy and Dryden Voss has a criminal syndicate, that covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, so I was going to take Dryden when you took him because I was like, I could get Crimson Dawn, the Hut space, all of Hut space, and the rest of the
we all wanted Dryden.
Yeah.
I will always say Dryden is the best villain in the modern in the Disney
era
Star Wars.
He's like so saccharine sweet and like lovely when you talk to him, and then he's like, "But I'm gonna have to kill you because kill you." And he's like, "You understand, right?"
He's hungry.
Yeah,
he says something.
Yeah, I like this. I like this.
And then I just feel like Asajj again. I just love her character. She's really been through the ringer.
Yeah.
She's a very tragic figure, but she's very skilled. I feel like with the right tutelage and motivation. And like those two are like kind of like, well, we're still doing good here. Some people might call us evil, but it's still pretty good. Like that moral ambiguity works. And we know Thrawn from Legends, I guess, so I can't really count that. But like Thrawn could use a chess piece like Asajj to her maximum potential.
But I mean, you got all the Thrawn current novels, which he does.
Does he ever have a Jedi though that he can like manipulate though?
No, not a Jedi.
I mean, Heir to the Empire.
But he has a lot of
underlings. He had a mid.
He does.
Well, Thrawn alliances. He kind of, I guess, gives information to Vader, right? And Vader acts on it. But I don't.
Yeah, he manipulates Vader.
And what's interesting about that too is like I feel like Asajj Ventress would respond more, which is similar to what like kind of Count Dooku did with her. Respond more towards guidance and like positive reinforcement in a way. And I feel like both Thrawn and Dryden Voss are really good at that. Right?
Yeah,
charming.
Exactly.
Thrawn has good relations with
her.
We're having fun drinks. Like that is a great team. As long as they're all seeing eye to eye. But I think there's a good distribution of power there. Thrawn's a master. He's running things. Dryden Voss is executing, and then Asajj is sort of a general, doing the
all
stuff.
Right. Well, now that we've been nice to each other, we're gonna have to argue against each other.
Love this plan.
In just a moment here. But first, let's look at our first category here: threat. Who built the most threatening team here? Who, if they were top billing in a movie, each film, one of our villains is featured on the cover. Are these movies threatening to us? Do we feel like there's a great threat looming in these films?
I mean, I don't want to argue for you guys, but I don't know. I can argue for myself. Yeah.
We're going to argue for ourselves now because I think you ultimately want to win this category. I think I messed up.
So I want to
Jabba.
win. Is that okay?
I think I messed up by picking Jabba here. Other than that, I think I'm not going to win this category.
I don't. No. Wait. What is it? It's the most threatening team.
Right.
Well, so here's the thing. Adam's team is the most threatening. If you're in the room with them, it doesn't matter if you're in the room with 1,000, battle droids, you're going down. But like global threat, individual threat.
Your team is.
I mean, Palpatine took over a galaxy. That's a threat.
Yeah.
Somehow. And I feel like we haven't seen the last of Admiral Thrawn, but he's also calculating on the galactic scale. Dryden Voss created a galaxy-wide network. Asajj Ventress, she's scary. It's all fun and games, but like you throw a Jedi into certain situations, not up against either of your teams. Really, I wouldn't take her against Kylo or obviously Adam's Troika, but used correctly, very threatening.
Mm-hmm. I do find Dryden Voss maybe the most weirdly threatening of all these characters. He just scares me every time I watch that. I think just that combination of just like charming and can move immediately into just being a psychopath is
he is both good cop and bad cop.
Yes,
I think he's his attitude can be threatening, and he can weave his words in such a way that they're stabbing and all these sorts of things that are really really fun to watch, but I don't find his like combat prowess anywhere near as intimidating.
Oh no!
Adam's
I mean, team. 4 words: Rogue One, hallway.
No, I know exactly. Adam. I mean, it's safe to say Adam wins this category. I'm not really, but it begs discussion. Though.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's just give it to me. Right. I'm gonna lose everything else.
No, it does. It does sort of stoke a discussion here. That is, Thrawn Thrawn's threat level was sort of undercut to me in Ahsoka. Just slightly. I just felt like he dwelled.
No, I
He
would agree
did
with
things
that.
for a little too long. It was a beat too long for me, and not as decisive and deliberate as I would have written him to be threatening. You know what I mean? And like, so he's not entirely
You're being
threatening right now for me as a.
You're being very
Yeah.
diplomatic. I like Ahsoka a lot. I think his threat level in Ahsoka is
Yeah,
0.
exactly.
I think it's 0 out of 10.
Anyone can just
Because
throw bodies
they also-
in between you and the threat. Like, yeah.
But I will also, in defense of it, say I don't think that was the purpose of Thrawn in Ahsoka. His main goal was to get back to the galaxy. That was it. Not to be
It's
threatened.
more
not
of
to
the
be whatever.
motivations are
I think
veiled
we'll
than
see.
he is supposed to be threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see threatening Thrawn
Yeah.
now. Now that he's back in the galaxy, I think
So-
we're going to see
so
him
I
as a
haven't
threat.
seen
I don't
that
think we've
yet.
seen
Yeah.
him.
So-
Listen,
yeah.
I love Filoni,
Yeah.
but like Filoni's Thrawn is not Zahn's Thrawn. It's just he's not.
No.
I mean, even in Rebels, he took a million L's and it was like, this is all part of the plan. And like, that's not Thrawn.
I
Thrawn
know.
gets
It-
dubs.
Started to feel like Palpatine.
Right. Yeah.
You almost need
Yeah.
to see like
Yeah.
massive dubs, which would equal giant defeats for our heroes.
Yeah.
And
They need
you
to be
almost
running
see it like the
scared
heroes are
from
like,
him.
oh, we're dealing with like Thrawn, and he's a
Yeah.
master tactician, and he's already destroyed this canyon, and the cliffs fell on us and the villagers because he's already thought of this, like 10 moves ahead. And,
Right.
and, he's, like,
And he took a
using
couple of
Orc-
power converters and like a vertical thrust shifter and is like, now it's a cloaking device.
Right.
And it's like, now he's got this weapon that you can't see coming. And it's just like,
And then it was like rain hellfire upon them, and just like the turbo lasers just fire like
Yeah.
they're, I guess, valuable
he
munitions.
doesn't waste a single like ion blast. Like,
Yeah, it's just I just didn't see any threat from Thrawn in that series that really made him feel imposing anyway.
right.
Dryden Voss, he gets dispatched, so you kind of have that. He probably might not make it through this fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
Asajj is still alive.
Asajj is still alive. I just don't find her that threatening because I feel like she makes the wrong decision over and over again. So
Well,
Sometimes
the
makes the right
wrongs.
decision.
Yeah, she's. That's what I like about her. She's. We don't. I can't wait to see her in Bad Batch to see where she's at. But she's been through.
well,
the
she just
ringer.
keeps trying to kill like Obi-Wan and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't. He's
Yeah. No,
What are you doing?
she couldn't ever really like
he
hang.
spared her life 10 times.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know. They let her go like a million times. Ahsoka, I think they had a conflict. It was like she lost to that. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen her really win anything. She's more like a person you put against non-Force users. Like, again, if this is like 9 people enter, 3, one team leaves, I have no chance here. But
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Battle
I
Royale.
think, and I
Yeah,
think I
but-
lose with Jabba. I think Jabba just sinks my team.
he's not a fighter.
Depends
but he's
how
a
much-
Good
manipulator.
entourage, though.
No.
I get Jabba.
He's a
in
manipulator.
Entourage, right?
Well,
okay,
if you get
now we
the
gotta
entourage,
talk
then I
about
get the
plus
Navy.
one.
And
Can we talk about the plus ones
right.
here? They're like, some of us like are going to come with a package, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Jabba is one of those characters that is going to come with Boba Fett, possibly entourage of bounty hunters.
Yeah. I got, not to like downplay myself, but this is where I start losing.
well, no,
I got nothing.
you've got the
Right,
whole
like-
separatist army, and technically,
Right.
Sheev has like the whole Republic army.
Yeah, that's
whole
why I think
Republic.
Adam wins
It's
threat,
tough.
and I think I win combat,
Yeah.
or I win like any scale combat. Because
Yeah, I mean, what do you got?
Well, I
Ben?
mean-
you got
I'll take
remnant.
I'll take Thrawn versus any admiral in the Imperial
I love that.
Navy, and
I do like that you picked him because that is a wild card and like a spearhead
Yeah.
that could split the Empire.
if he wanted to, and I'd love to see that. Right, like that would be a
Ooh,
fun
yeah.
battle. But and Dryden Voss, like, is he going up against the Hutts? I don't know, but he does have a little. He has like that. Whatever, that friendly group of syndicates with him.
Sure.
Friendly, I'm using loosely, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is it? It's like Pikes, Black Sun. I would take the 5 of them against the Hutt clan.
Yep.
Probably, maybe it'd be close, but but I think he could win there. So yeah, I mean, it would be weird, but definitely be an underdog story. But I mean,
Well, you could argue that Palpatine isn't really a military strategist, and I should have picked a Tarkin, or I should have picked a military strategist, in that you have Thrawn, and you're going to be able to maneuver fleets better than me, possibly.
yeah,
'Cause
but you do have
I
technically
don't
you
really
have Tarkin, right? Like,
Well, I feel like Palpatine could just order things, or I feel like he
Yeah.
knows enough to get it done, and then I also feel like he can do like
Yeah.
battle meditation in his
Yeah.
throne room and just call.
yeah,
Oh.
it's tough to beat.
But is battle meditation
yeah.
Not
No,
the
no, I'm
back
just
card.
saying that as a flourish.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to argue that anyone is a better manipulator or orchestrator than Sheev. You know,
That's why I think
he has
would.
layers and layers and layers to protection.
does, but-
and, imperialism.
My only response to that, I think I'm going with Grant, but my only response to that is that Sheev works on long-term plans. Sheev is a long-term manipulator, long-term planner.
But I also
right,
have the
where-
short-term, short-temper Kylo Ren. Who
You
I'm
do,
throwing
and
at you with,
Jabba.
the TIE silencer. I'm just like whipping
And
him at
as
you.
long as Jabba's not blasted out of his brains on spice, is pretty good at short-term.
Well,
No,
Jabba
he's-
always does that like sly
Manipulation.
look to someone and orders like a
Yeah.
murder or like an assassination or
Yep.
something. It's terrifying in the
Yeah.
comics if you read it. And so it's like
He's really
He's
good.
like almost
He did
precognitive
good
too.
work on him.
Like he,
yeah, and he's like more.
Yeah.
The whole thing is
He sees
he's
the
almost like a
angles.
Miyazaki
Yeah.
character where he's like he seems like this aloof sort of like creature, but like you said, Adam, like on spice and sort of like out of his mind, but he's not. He sort of does a turn to camera sometimes in these comics, and he's well about his wits, and he's sort of like is orchestrating all these really cool like back dealings with bounty hunters and different professionals around the galaxy to like do his bidding, and it's terrifying. It's cool and ominous and terrifying, and just he's made into a slightly more menacing character in the comics than in Return.
for sure.
yeah, man. All right, what's the next category?
That's it. That's pretty much it. It's threat, combat. I guess team synergy. If we really want to add that, I think we did that last time.
Oh well, I would
Yeah,
I would
it's
root
really
for
good.
my team. I think you both of your teams are
I-
going to kill each other. So
No, I will again not to like discount myself, but yeah, I think you put 3 Sith in a room. What
You have
Sith's
the
coming
most
out?
bad blood, Adam. Like
yeah,
Yeah, no,
It's
I
like-
I can't in good faith argue this up for me.
that's why you win
Really
threat.
can't.
But there's something
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that though. I think we are finding some interesting details here, which is that
I feel like what happened is like if we're all in a room, my team would win, and then they all kill each
The
other.
room
and
is
one person
exploding.
might still be alive.
Yeah,
and that person would be Vader.
yeah.
Yeah, and so
Whoa, that's actually
Crit.
that's another whole debate.
Yeah,
I just feel like I feel like Palpatine and Jabba would not get along.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
mean,
too much overlap.
I feel like
there.
Kylo would also be, and then Kylo would be like, "I want to be in charge." I think Ben's got this because I feel like I think Thrawn and Dryden would work pretty well together because they have separate lanes. They're also rational. There's no spice addiction that I know of going on in the middle of
Right.
this whole thing.
They all know their roles.
right. And Asajj is like, yeah, and Asajj doesn't have like ambitions to be
Right.
to take over. It
Listen,
doesn't
if she's
feel
number
like it, right?
3
So-
in an organization, she's happy. That's the
Yeah,
highest she's ever
yeah.
risen.
Yep. And trio with
Right.
respect.
Yeah, because
and-
like I mean, Thrawn would. I picked her to be Thrawn's like tool. Like he always needs like a special tool,
Yeah.
and especially he does well with Force users. Like if you give him a Force user to control, it's going to be awesome. And I think she'd be cool with that. I think she'd be used in like only ways that she'd be able to, be victorious. And so it's like they all have their
love this.
roles. That like drinks
So,
for days. We have a great yacht.
yeah, definitely wins the hangout vibes. Though I don't want to hang out with Thrawn, but I would like to hang
Dude,
out with
I could
Dryden
talk
Voss,
to
I
Thrawn
think.
about art
And-
all day.
Oh boy.
I think your team would have the
I'd be
best
done in 5
synergy, Ben. I think you win that one. So I think we all won a category.
All right.
So trophies for
Wow,
everyone.
dubs all
So-
around. I didn't think it would go
I
that
love
way.
my
but also,
participation.
I
I
think
did
we all
not.
wanted Vader,
I
and
don't-
Adam got him,
Yeah.
and so we had to build around characters. I don't
We
think
all do adjust.
going last
Yeah,
was
I
tough,
just-
guys.
Yeah.
I have to s-
I know.
tough.
You did. Yeah. But you did. You did.
Can we talk about worthy omissions, like characters we thought about? And
Sure.
I definitely had Orson Krennic and Jango Fett on the short list for Team Swag.
Yeah, same. Those are two that I left. I was also thinking maybe Darth Bane, but I couldn't really make a lot of arguments around Bane in terms of canon. So I was like, I don't. He's so.
Well,
limited.
there's kind of
in
some
canon
glaring
references.
things, glaring characters we didn't pick here, which is like Snoke. None of us picked Snoke.
No,
Maybe I get that
I
with
mean-
the Palpatine package, given the narrative direction of the
I'm
story.
not hanging
but-
out with a clone.
No, and like
Or a
it's
string
hard.
cast.
It's like I would have exactly. I would have more hung out with Snoke. I would have more likely chosen Snoke if they went with the direction I thought they were going to do, which is a master manipulator and didn't actually have
Yeah.
the Force. That
Right,
would have
it
made
would have
him
made
more
him-
interesting
yeah,
and threatening
whatever.
to me, like more of a manipulator. But he's just kind of like a poor man's whatever, and like they got rid of him.
I
halfway
think
through
walking
the
out of
second
Tross and
movie.
just hearing Adam say he was a meat puppet, I was just like,
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think it's
so.
that he's a homunculus.
Yeah,
homunculus.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's. But yeah, me puppet homunculus.
my God.
It's weird. I mean, Hux is there,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Hux is what
General
I love
Grievous
Hux, but
is still on the list here too.
oh, Grievous, yeah. I mean, do you get him like post or
I think he loses-
pre-breathing?
Oh no,
issues?
he's actually pretty threatening. Clone
Pre-asthma?
Wars, if you watch the Clone Wars series,
The Tartarovsky series.
Yeah.
He's beast.
Yes, we
Yeah.
find out. Yeah, he gets it. Yeah, he's really. I always forget about Grievous. I don't know why. I do
he
like
takes
Grievous.
massive
I have nothing
L's
against
in
him.
the films. Though.
Yeah.
So it's-
Yeah.
He does. He
Yeah, that's the
does.
thing. It's like I'm trying to build a team here. You know, Grievous is not a team
Yeah.
player. He's a rogue entity.
Yeah.
You just let go, cause chaos. I mean,
Yeah.
Moff Gideon is
Moff Gideon's on the
I was gonna say
table.
He's out
Gideon.
there.
Gideon's up there.
He's great. He's
Tarkin,
great
the
in
movie
that
mentioned
final
Tarkin.
episode of season 3. Like that fight is awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Very-
he creates like force-sensitive clones, right,
Yeah.
of himself, or gets close to. He has like a whole art. He has like jet trooper,
Yeah.
stormtroopers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Decades before anyone
Yeah.
else, apparently. That's a weird thing. But yeah,
If I had a fourth pick,
yeah.
Major Pentagas. Pentagrass.
Oh, a Partagas.
Partagas.
in-
Partagas.
Partagas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Partagas. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
Oh.
because I could just
Yeah.
listen to him talk for days. I just dude, like one of my favorite
Yeah.
characters all time.
He's so good.
The Stilgar, Stelgar,
Yeah.
incident attack. I think that was a bad decision
Yeah,
though, on his part.
he's got really
Like,
no redeeming.
It's just wipe the taste clean from the Emperor's mouth or whatever he says. So
Yeah.
that
I just have him around just to listen to him talk. I just could just hang with that guy. for
I
days.
know.
Ed Romero, I would just say, might be the better pick there, just given that I think she's just
Andrew's pretty- yeah.
She's shooting
Yeah.
star.
Or-
But yo,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
like made out with
Uh,
that tool though.
Well, no, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
serial killer.
Like that is a huge L. for her.
he's-
that is a bad look.
But he's not a bad choice because because he's the person that could slip in and kill someone because he's so unassuming and has zero compunction of like he clearly is going to turn into like a horrible serial killer. We're going to see
Is
our
he
first
gonna
serial
kill his
killer in Star
mom?
Wars. Yes, that's the thing where they'll go look and his mom's going to be in the fridge. Like it's going to be awful. Like I like every time I was watching him, like I was getting creeped out. Like he's a good creep vibe.
Yeah, he has like wait, what's the Hitchcock movie? Psycho. Like that's the vibe I get.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, he's got Norman Bates vibes up and down.
Cad
the
Bane's
wall.
still on the table.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hate Cad Bane.
Yeah. Sorry. All right.
He is. Phasma is
Yeah.
on there. Like if I was building it out and I wanted someone who could like order like control troops and be more of like a kind of level down, Phasma's not bad as a choice.
No Tobias
Yeah.
Beckett, Adam.
Is he it?
Tobias Beckett was
No,
weird. Like I thought about him, but I just don't know. I know he like turns on Han at the end, but he's so hard. I still kind of categorize him
Yeah,
as not a
for sure.
villain.
You're right.
He's a scoundrel. Like I put him in
Scoundrel.
like
Sure.
solidly in
I'm just-
scoundrel.
Yeah.
I mean,
category. But
Darth
I
Bane
can
is
see
a
that.
dub. Like that would have been a good one.
Yeah, none of us picked out that. We haven't
Yep.
seen him really do much in
I mean,
canon.
in
No one-
canon,
yeah,
we don't really
no.
know, but like we have to assume that. I actually,
But we know.
I was thinking
he's
about this
Darth
as
Bane.
I was
Yeah.
reading Plagueis. I'm like, it's kind of cool that like we don't know for certain, like given the like sort of way we think about canon and legends, like in Galaxy, like we don't know for certain
Yeah.
the history of the Sith, but these are the tellings, you know, and it's
Sure.
like a little,
Yeah.
I was afraid.
it's a little wonky, and
Right.
so it's like the like all the stories about the Sith are sort of legends, but no,
Yep.
it really just give me some canon, like.
I know,
But I
but I
want
do
the
I do
best
like
stories.
the fact that they I do too, but I do appreciate that they use the term legends.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I can read these. It's just like, and we've talked about it before. I'm just like, these are the stories that people tell in Galaxy. They may be true, they may be slightly off, and I'm like, that's brilliant because I can still enjoy them either way, but it makes me feel like you're reading in-universe books in a weird way, like in-universe novels. No one picked Newt Gunray.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw him on a few lists here.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm also just looking at these random lists.
Where was Wat Tambor, Adam?
I mean, again, if we did, if we did,
he's a little
if
love.
we did go the full 5, if we went the full 5, there's a greater than 0 chance I would have picked Wat Tambor to fill out as my 5th level. He's got like he's
Techno Union
part of the
army.
Techno Union, right? Like, I mean,
a lot
come
of power
on,
there.
that sounds amazing.
A lot of factoid
Yeah,
engineering.
either really good music or also has a lot of droids. I don't know. We'll see.
Really good music. Is that what
like
you
none
said?
of the Inquisitors got a pick here.
It's a Techno Union army.
Yeah, just waiting for the drop.
It's so funny.
Wat Tambor. Now I got to go watch episode 2.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers all of mine. Yeah, the ones that I wrote down that I sort of had an affection for.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, there's a lot of other villains out there. We talk about the rest of them. I'm sure we will when we talk about Plagueis next week if we get that.
Yeah,
get to
next
that.
week.
But so I think we did it.
We did the thing.
We did a good draft.
We did the thing. Any
we-
other news points from this week?
Yeah, can we do a
news
news?
stuff.
Can we do a
Let's do
news
it.
roundup? There's some stuff. Nothing like major, but like I do want to have something. So Disney had their investor.
I knew you would follow this closely
this week.
Yeah.
And so Bob Iger.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's involuntary every time I say his name now. Has really doubled down on movies. The Disney Plus is losing money. We are pulling everything we possibly can at Disney Plus and putting it back in the theaters. We saw this with a lot of things happening. One of the things, just as a side note to kind of notice this, is Moana 2 just got announced, coming out later this year, which is originally supposed to be a TV series on Disney Plus, but Iger said nope, make it into a movie, which makes me nervous about what the quality of that movie is going to be. But that's where we're getting.
The whole problem with Disney is that they haven't merged Hulu in Disney Plus in a way that's well-rounded 4-quadrant, and they're able to create high-quality, prestige, mature dramas like HBO, as well as 4-quadrant general audience shows for kids.
It's right there.
It's crazy.
right there. Yeah, it's
crazy.
like, but
it's so easy to do.
Peacock's dying to be bought.
but
Like
Disney I know, but Disney has always struggled with that. You go back to like Buena Vista Television,
and they're afraid of brand dilution, and there's too many people at the top who are each other's
but also looking for simple answers of, oh no, TV's not working, so we'll just go back to movies. Oh no, movies aren't working, we'll go back to TV. Like, it's just anyway. So what does this mean for Star Wars? A couple things that are somewhat exciting for Star Wars, even if it may not be great for the company at large, is that they confirm Mandalorian and Grogu going into production like in a few months, like in June, right? I think is the date. And I think they have a May 2026 release date, because we were originally talking about possibly December 2025, but that's for the highly anticipated that everyone wants to see Avatar 3. Everyone's waiting.
So there was
everyone's
no
claiming for Avatar 3.
Words about the Rey movie? Ugh.
No, but other than what Iger said, which is really interesting, the other thing he said during this was that the Mandalorian. So he said he confirmed that 3 Star Wars movies have been officially announced, so it's still there, with more to come. So what he kind of said is we're expecting to hear more announcements for Star Wars movies. Like, he's really going back to Star Wars movies.
It's the Charmin, like, Rey movie is one of those. The Mangol movie is the other. The third was the Filoni movie, quote unquote. But I thought it was going to be further down the line. Is now the, like, Mando Grogu movie the Filoni movie?
No. It's just the first one. So basically, it's just like it's the first.
Is it titled
first
The
one of these 4 new
Mandalorian
movies?
Grogu?
I mean,
But
yes,
like,
but
what
expect
a
that title to
boring
change.
way to like jump back to the big screen. Like, it's such a. I guess
I
it's
know.
safe. Ugh.
Safe. It's safe. But I mean, here's the thing. from being the realist that I am, you need a safe blockbuster hit.
Just put Tom Hardy
rest,
in a
right?
vocoder and in some veiled in shadows.
Yes, we will get that.
Just do his
We
thing.
will get that in the Ray
Great,
movie.
done.
And then we'll all
We'll
just like,
100%
there's
get that
been
in
an
the Ray
awakening.
movie.
Have you felt it?
Yeah.
But all over again. But obviously new lines. But
the other thing that's slipped kind of under the radar that I've been seeing news about is that Donald Glover's been doing press for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Grant, do you want to rave about that for a second?
I know
you
I
want to
cannot
really
recommend Mr. and Mrs. Smith enough on Amazon.
Oh,
It
nice.
is, I think, my favorite show. I mean, and Curb is out, and there's a lot of stuff out that I absolutely adore. But this is gotta be my favorite. And Michelle Spade, and then this show. I feel like I'm just there's so much to watch right now. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith is outstanding. There are giant stars that just pop up as sort of side characters.
Oh, really?
I've heard.
It just happens.
All right, I'm watching that next.
It's really, we only watched the first episode last night, but we were kind of sucked in where it's just like such a weirdly specific and good balance of like super espionage.
It's
and
hard
romantic
to
comedy
the motivations
in a way that
of the
like
characters, and it's just tonally sort of like a nuance. There's a nuanced tone to it where it's extremely
real
dark.
Nuance is a perfect word. Yeah. Shocked. I mean, we knew we were going to watch it because it's like, how do you not watch it? But like shocked with how much I'm like, wow, they're actually doing something with this show. But so Donald Glover and his brother, who are both writers along with others on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but they're both writing Lando. And he's been talking about it, and I don't remember this ever being confirmed, as a movie.
Okay.
So Lando's a movie. It's gone back from, it was a series.
It
now
should
it's a
be
movie.
a movie. I think it's better.
It should be, but that's kind of a big thing that's happening that no one's really talked about. That I think this is the thing that Iger probably the thing is that Iger told Glover it's a movie. Please don't talk about it as a movie. He forgot.
Right,
It's a kind of a like soft announce, but like that's great. That also means like the Soloverse
lives
essentially,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very neat.
And the other thing is, can you believe that when the Mandalorian Grogu, whatever they rename that, it's going to be 7 years since the last Star Wars movie. When it comes out, it'll be 7 years since Rise of Skywalker, which is like, but there's something to that. But build anticipation, right? As opposed to like Marvel.
And then,
yeah, but I'm going to be
that is a little
soon,
strange.
So like, hurry it up.
I know. I'm with you. Like my child might be old enough to actually see that in the theater when it comes out.
Right. Oh God. I mean, I guess it's just 2 years away, but I feel like we've been 2 years away for 5 years. So it's like,
I know.
Okay.
I know. I also have some other random news that will make.
Though. Because
no, go for it.
Just wonder if this is a sign that like the shepherding around the storytelling of Star Wars is sort of hemming us in and sort of keeping us from exploring, an entirely new space. You know what I mean? I wonder if this is the right idea to sort of explore the timeline before the sequel trilogy, when it's going to be a theatrical experience, and sort of the Star Wars theatrical experience is, in my mind, only works if there's a giant sense of mystery to the plot and to the development of the story as it persists. And I'm fascinated with Grogu. I want to know all the answers. Like, I want to know, what his purpose is in the galaxy and what he's going to do and all that stuff. Like, that's fascinating to me. I want to know what happens with the Mandalorians, but I know what happens with the state of the galaxy ultimately, and that weighs on me as I'm going into the film. And I wonder if that benefits Star Wars, because in my opinion, my thesis is that you need there to be like sort of a massive sense of mystery and awe to the piece before.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the other thing is knowing that this is in the middle of a story, right? Like this isn't. We know there's nothing. I had just had a wild thought. I mean, it's Star Wars. People die at the end of Star Wars. People sacrifice themselves. Do you think we see the end of the Mandalorian at this movie? Like, because Pedro Pascal is kind of like whatever about it, and there's other stuff going on. They're trying to build a universe. I just had this wild thought of like, what if he dies at the end of that movie? Like, sacrificing himself to save Grogu.
There will be like this whole Pedro Pascal meme that like his major IP characters like always die though.
Yeah.
I know. It's true. He is.
Like it's like, oh no.
It's very true. He's lining himself up to not
be
last
like
very long in a lot of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had this thought. Because that would to me maybe justify a movie. Right, if it's the end of that character.
Well, that's what makes me worry.
Ben and I want to see him walk away into the sunset.
I want to see him. I hope they're still making Mandalorian movies when I'm dead. Like
kill him,
or
kill him dead.
Shows. You know,
kill him
like
dead.
Yeah.
And that's.
Are they still making them?
I would be so disappointed if they stopped that run. I mean, it doesn't make any sense either. It's you'd be killing the golden calf or whatever. It's like that's the only thing making any money for Star Wars IP right now.
I will argue though, he is a mentor to a Force user. If they do not last long.
If he dies at the end, like there'll be those people that spray paint Mando dies like on their cars and driving around to just be trolls and awful people like they did with Han.
That's very true.
Like that, it's just like I don't think they want to open that can of worms. And I'm saying this for my own benefit because I'm trying to will this out of the ether.
Would Grogu let Mando die? I think not.
No.
You'll probably get a fake out.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I like about Mando is that it just follows the script. Like, it does.
Well, why
all
can't he
the
raise his
things.
son? I don't get it.
Right.
I feel like that's what I need. I need that catharsis.
Yeah.
He gets to go raise his Grogu.
It's the catharsis like Star Wars. It's just like, no, there's not tragic characters. We have our heroes and they do their best and they help win the day. And it's like, I need that story sometimes. I just do.
I like it. Kill him dead.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I do think Grogu needs to teach.
You're still
Mando
bitter about Voss, aren't
in
you?
a major way.
I am. No, I like that. I don't know. I don't think it needs to happen, but there's part of me wondering, how do you justify it?
I had the same thought, Adam. Actually, right as you were saying that, I was like, oh, God, don't. Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it's going to be awkward watching it in the film, watching it in the
theater.
He's going to be like, you're going to kill him now? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Other quick piece of news that this will be real quick and good for you. Remember, I was very skeptical about Outlaws coming out this year?
Yes.
Ubisoft has committed. They have stated that Outlaws will come out in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm sure they're the people who are working on it now who are like, great, that means
they're like
100-hour work weeks and I'm sleeping in the
crunch.
office, but they're going to crunch them to death. But hey, we're going to get our game by the end of 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's expansive.
I think they did put out. Did they work on Avatar?
They did work on Avatar. Yeah,
the exact same company.
Yep. The subsidiary of Ubisoft is the same one who did Avatar.
Well, they're. I mean, I haven't played that game, but I mean that's a vast open world.
It is very open world. I've read the reviews. It's fine.
Oh, and it's
not bad,
fine.
but it's not. But it's not a train wreck. Which I was like when I read that, I'm like,
well,
I'll
take fine.
More time on Outlaws, guys.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
just putting more of their attention to Outlaws.
Or they can learn, right? They could take what they tried and improve and iterate. And the thing is, all we've asked for is we don't need every single Star Wars game to be a AAA, take 5 years to make. Like, just give us a Star Wars game. And if it's giant open world and closer Assassin's Creed, and it can be clunky at times,
and if it's like Assassin's Creed Origins or Valhalla, or
I'll take it.
Exactly. Valhalla. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh man, I would. If it's an Assassin's Creed, the Greek Isles or whatever, Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey.
Oh my gosh, I would play the heck out of that. It goes forever.
I still haven't played Odyssey. I've only played.
Odyssey is so good. Yeah,
it's so
Origins
good.
was fantastic.
I just love Valhalla, and the only reason I stopped playing that is because I transferred to a PS5 and my trophies didn't come with me. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm done playing this game.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
drives me nuts. Anyway, different podcast.
Sorry.
Fine.
Sorry. Well, that's great news, man. I'm really excited about that because it shows me that they're trying. It was just like there was just this like empty space for a decade where EA like put out 2 games in 10 years, and you're like, just come on. Like that was a travesty. With this IP, it's just like farm this IP out. There should be a game every year, and there kind of has been. Like we got Survivor last year. We'll get this one this year. Eclipse is in the pipeline. Like it feels like they're trying it, and I really appreciate that.
They also did that collab. I mean, Disney spent like $1 billion to partner with Epic Games, who does Fortnite, which is not my jam, but people love it, and they're creating more games for Disney. So it's not like they're just going to insert, which they already do.
Yeah.
They're not just going to insert stuff into Fortnite. So there's something coming also in that realm that they're going to specifically give just to Disney properties with specific eyes on the specific areas. So there might be some kind of just also fun kind of continuation. It's probably not going to be Battlefront 3, but maybe something similar in terms of a
it could be a battle royale,
battle royale, just Star Wars, which not my jam, but
yeah,
not
my
people.
thing either.
Yeah.
Not my thing either. And then like
But
I
it's
hope
Star Wars games,
and also it's like sort of. I mean, I guess Fortnite's not really pay to win, but it's like a microtransaction game, and like I'm really proud of the gaming community for how they rallied around Battlefront 2, and we're like, absolutely not, So hard that they had to like change their game immediately, which I mean, fairly unprecedented. They were just like, this is not going to be a pay to win game.
It was like you only buy new skins, you couldn't earn them in games.
Well, it was a lottery
right?
system to get like upgrades, so you just like keep dumping credits in, and so if you had money, you could buy these credits, and you just and play the system more to get the cards and all the things earlier than everyone else, and it's like it's a cancer on gaming,
exploitative,
anyways, I'm hoping that Disney and Lucasfilm learned from that travesty, and that it'll help us out. Right on, man.
I've loved most of the recent Ubisoft games. I played Ghost Recon Wildlands. Like I played 100 hours of that. Loved that game. I just really love. I love The Division. I played that. I love that game. Yeah. Great.
No, I love all the Assassin's Creed games. If they was in Star Wars, I would. I mean, I might play it forever. Yeah.
We have been saying this for as long as we've been doing this podcast, and the podcast before this is just like, give us an Ubisoft Star Wars game. Yeah. We are finally getting it. So, and it'll be great, and there'll be some clunkiness to it too, but it'll be
Star
mostly
Wars
great.
And gaming is a perfect match though, because you go through the painstaking process of sort of taking, realistic textures from photos and create these photoreal landscapes for the volume and for the background of
live action it's already
settings.
In a gaming
and in a game software. You're basically you get to really create these planets in a way that feels more visceral, more vivid, more immersive, interactable, tangible. Like these worlds, you're actually building these worlds. It's like Star Wars is almost made for gaming. I feel like
it really is.
The level of immersion you can do, planets can really have wild attributes, and in terms of their atmosphere and in terms of geological structures, formations, how many suns and moons they have. Like, there's just so much you can do with the worlds in Star Wars that it's perfect for gaming. And I'm hopeful that there's more than a few worlds in Outlaws, because I think that is just such an ace, for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. The more the larger you can make the galaxy feel, the better. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Agreed.
And I mean, we're going to talk about this more next week, but in Legends, I just feel like there were bigger swings taken. There was more latitude, and I think it made for richer worlds. And we'll talk about that more next week. As we,
I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and and thinking about games now that I'm looking at KOTOR, and I'm like, there's some parallels between how they wrote KOTOR and how they wrote Plagueis, and it was just sort of like they could just take wild swings, and it just made a very rich world, and I think a little bit of that's missing. They're getting a little too territorial with certain parts of the galaxy.
Very much so. Yeah.
And it's really hemming people in, and it's like I generally like giving rails to artists to be like, no, you just have to do this thing and be as creative as you can be in this space. But I feel like
the rails are really narrow right
really
now.
Narrow.
It's other than again, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But joining the High Republic, because there is more freedom in that area for writers to kill off and tell stories. But
I do find it a little discerning that none of us picked Snoke, Marchion Ro, and that we found Thrawn not very threatening, given that these are all kind of the main villains that are being used in all the different forays to explore new stories.
Right. Yeah. Didn't even think about High Republic.
Didn't think about High Republic either.
Is a great,
and I'm just
Marchion Ro would have been okay. Yeah, the mother. Yeah.
Well, so I wanted to bring this up too. Not a lot of ladies to pick from, right?
Yeah, that's upsetting to me. I think
you got like the one.
I got the one.
That her and Phasma are kind of like.
I think a lot of my early theories, on the sequel trilogy and stuff, was that Abeloth might be introduced in those films or something. Maybe that's where we're going.
It feels like almost an overcorrection.
I think that's what Filoni's trying
yeah.
to do here. I think Filoni's heard this from a lot of fans,
Yeah.
and he's like,
I mean,
maybe Filoni and his own thinking. Obviously, Filoni is a Jedi master in terms of his understanding of Star Wars.
Mother Tamsin, was
Yeah,
good. He's
a little bit.
he's done his thing, and then
He's done it.
what's the woman from Ahsoka, the dark sister that got vetted. I forget her name right now because my brain's not working great. But she that was another female villain. Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah,
Morgan Elsbeth.
No, there was a lot in Ahsoka, and I feel like similarly, I think when we get to
Shinhati,
when you get to Rey, when you get to the Rey movie, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think it makes sense to have a female villain in that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that'd be interesting to tell
so.
that story.
Also, when I was going to pick Jabba, it was either Jabba or Balin's skull. I should be transparent with you guys.
Balin's
good too.
Swaggy.
I have trouble with Balin and villain right now. I know that's hard to say.
No, I think he's a villain. I think he's build or his optics are as a villain.
Yeah, I wouldn't have fought you with that if you chose him.
I think he was pickable.
I think so, yeah.
That's what I was weighing at those are the two characters I was weighing.
Thrawn,
because I thought he was like a good Vader replacement, essentially.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, he's like a Vader replacement. Yep. Probably wouldn't win team synergy, though.
Probably
and
not.
Also,
depends on the team.
But Jabba, obviously, not so much either. But I was thinking regionally when I was picking my team. Anyways, Balin Skull, Shinhati. I love those characters.
I mean,
so
I
much,
could have gone for the Trinity with Thrawn, Balin, Morgan Elsbeth, and that would have been a pretty formidable team.
That would have been good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they traverse the stars. That's no easy.
Yeah, no easy task. All right, why don't we wrap this up, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Super fun. This is great. Next week, get on Plagueis. If you haven't read it, read it. Just generally, even if you don't do it for next week, it's just, we said this to Jason, and Jason actually started reading the book. So,
nice.
It was, if you have to pick one book, like that's how much I'm loving this right now. It's just like, it's my vibe. I'm not saying it's like objectively better, but like subjectively, like I just, this is my favorite thing, or what I'm missing like right now is all this great Sith talk in Plagueis. And it's a blast.
Let's talk about it.
We'll just talk about it because it's like it's really close to the line. It's really close to the canon line, and they've been like avoiding all this talk. He is, Plagueis is canon. We know he lives.
Yep.
That was definitely, Sidious's master. So the book is just it's better than I remember it. This is the second time.
So good.
So excited to get further into it.
Yeah. It's poetry. It's beautiful writing. It's great. I love James Luceno so much. Any hoozle. We're going to talk about that next week, and we're going to do a little primer for Bad Batch, the final season 3. So that should be a blast. But thanks very much for listening to us. We will talk to you again next week on
Cantina Chronicles.